a lot of the lines in the movie that you laughed about are things we just made up. A lot of the one-liners, and that's what you brought in. You know, he started it in the fight, was you. You know, I look at that fight, I'm like, please don't hurt the planes, because we had no money if he scratched the plane.
That was a great fight scene,
It
by
was a
the
good
way.
fight scene, yeah. But that was you improvised.
That was an absolute, one of the best parts, I think. We had a couple of goals. One was Saturday morning, you know, you're there by 6:30, 7 o'clock at Edgewood Studios. And the idea was to get to the site, get lights, get sound, get everything going, and try and get a shot off by like 8 o'clock, which rarely ever happened. Right. So while everyone's in makeup, Dave and I are just kind of walking around. He's like, what do you think? What needs to happen here? He goes, okay, the bad guys are going to jump on you, and then we're going to go do this, and we would just like walk around the space and then come up with something. The house center where we shot a bunch of that stuff, which was destroyed at that time, created a wonderful space for the destroyed future. And it was the same thing. Everyone's in makeup, and Dave's like, let's take a walk. So we take a walk.
We would do that.
Just walk around, kind of like, okay, we can use those steps, we can use that door, you know, and then comes the process of choreographing, because stunt work is like a dance, you know, and your partner just happens to be the bad guy. That's all. And so we'd walk around and then rehearse it like 9,000 times, and you would be surprised, you know, if I'm hitting you, I'm swinging my hand right about there, and the camera is shooting over your shoulder right there. And all you have to do is, when I do this, you go BAM! And look like you got hit. It's all well and good when you're talking about it and doing it. And then when someone says action, you'd be surprised how many times we get clipped. Thank God for my chin, because it saved my face. Because when I was going like, like, son of a bitch! That hurt!
There's a lot of that, actually.
There was a lot of
mentioning that. Yeah.
There was a lot of that, yes. A lot of stuff that just, and there's a couple scenes you're like, you want to do that again? I'm like, F no. You kidding me?
Well, like I'm still guilty when you jump in the quarry with the bike.
Oh.
I remember that being freezing cold. We never tested it, and it was your bike. And like, if you notice, he starts swimming as soon as he comes up because his bike was sinking. It was his bike.
Well, the funny part is,
push that a little too much.
The quarry is so clear, right? And it's November, and it's 87 feet down, and you're looking at it.
It was August. I think he's making the story worse.
No, it was November, dog.
It was not. We didn't shoot the whole movie in November, so your stories can be good.
No, we shot that scene in November. That much
we
I
shot
remember.
that late, though.
You didn't see my nuts for like a week. I swear to God.
I still haven't seen his nuts.
That's true. I couldn't find him. Yeah, yes. Neither could my wife.
Okay.
It was just the funny, honey. I don't know. Babe, they were here when I left this morning. I knew they. So there was that one scene there. We were talking to Grizz there, you know, and
that was where you
that's
went
my
to the hospital.
hypothermia night.
You have to tell that story. He ended up in the hospital that night.
So we did a scene in the early part of the day, and I got soaking wet.
That was the fight, that big fight. I think you smashed the guy's, or Bonnie smashes the guy's head in the.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so my clothes get soaking wet or dirty or something, and then during lunch break, one of the girls said, "I'll wash the clothes." So she took my jeans and my T-shirt, took them home, washed them, put them in the dryer, and brought them back. And when she took them out of the dryer wasn't working. So I had wet clothes to put back on.
And the budget was so low that we didn't actually have backup clothes. But he was wearing, like, he wore the same jeans through most of the movie, maybe two pairs of jeans, and we only had like 5 T-shirts.
Yeah. So what I had on was the same wet clothes.
Literally.
And it was like November, something like that. And it gets to be about 9:30 on a Sunday night or something like that. And I can't remember my words. And it was a simple line. You know, we're sitting around a little thing, and I think it was like a line, like that big. And to the point where one of you guys just like took over a white piece of paper and wrote it down in great big letters, you know?
I think it was Stacy Dyer, the makeup girl.
Yes, and she came up to me, she puts her hands up underneath my armpit, she goes, "He's freezing. He's absolutely freezing." So I'm quietly shutting down, you know, not remembering a damn thing. And so that's when there's like, I think we're done for the day, gang. So,
I think in being my first movie, and I would never do this now, I think I got a couple more takes out of it before we started.
You're probably right.
I would never do that now. Swear to God. We had no idea this was going to be 30 years later plus.
Yeah.
Well, we did in 2016, Riff Tracks paid to take all of us, including Bonnie Pritchard, to Nashville for the Riff Tracks Live, and there were, couldn't even count how many people had Castleton t-shirts. I don't even know where they got it. Like, you know, where do you get one made if you can't get, because you can't get them from Castleton anymore. So
right.
I know, but it's fun and it's great and people like it, and I'm grateful and honored, and I feel blessed that people are getting what we were putting down. By the way, it's okay to laugh at all the riff tracks and Mystery Science Theater jokes, because the movie plays completely different than any other movie I own, because everybody's seen those as well as the movie. So there are laughs for places there should be no laughs. I know you know the lines, so don't. I heard you. Or you. Maybe, oh, it was you. Okay. I apologize. Get a Castleton shirt if you're going to make those
I
kind of
had
jokes.
that shirt.
He has a Castleton
I
shirt.
had that shirt.
So how long did it take to shoot the movie?
Longer than we thought.
Yeah, we thought we would shoot it on weekends through the summer, and when he talks about November, October, September, we started in June, I think.
Yeah.
No, we started in April.
Did we start in
remember
April?
distinctly.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, how you?
And we finished in November.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah, we did pick up.
Yeah,
It was a long time.
Well, it was, one of the things that was funny in terms of human nature was that first Saturday that we shot. There was the first day of any of the shooting, and there were like 30 people hanging around waiting for something to do because they wanted to be a part of the movie. By the time we got to the end in November, it was the four of us, by including Bonnie Pritchard, and the Boomer and Mark
There was like
Sassayera.
6 of us, and that was
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It was
And
about-
anyone we could find in the
Who
street.
started
Yo,
like
Doug, what are
100?
you doing today? Yeah. You want to come? We're working on a movie. It's not bad. It doesn't pay, but you'll have a great time.
Right. And that only lasts for a while. You get about 6 weeks into that, people fall away real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter's right about
I
that.
tried to fall away. I tried to kill myself.
Too late.
That's how I learned to work a bounce board. Just because I was one of the last ones standing. I needed somebody to do it and put the
Yes.
thing in my hands and
You were
stand
there.
here and do this.
Right.
Well, no, you know, that's part of the, you know, we used to joke about, you know, the magic of film, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the magic of film,
It's not
yeah.
magic until you get it in the can.
That's right.
For the Revolutionary War scene, did you end up using like reenactors, or where did you get the costumes for that?
Go
So,
ahead. This is a good
Do
one.
you, I'll do it if you.
Do it. Do it. This is
So-
genius. This is pure filmmaking genius.
So what we did was, it's the Living History Association down in Bennington. They do every year the Battles of Bennington, the Battles of Hubbardton, and I made a great deal with them. They were wonderful. We went to the Battle of Hubbardton, and we got a bunch of cutaways there, and then went to the Battle of Bennington, and orchestrated within the Battle of Bennington. We made a donation to the Living History Association. They were great. But what happened on the day, it was early in the shoot, we had a lot of people there, it was a lot of pressure, we had to get about 24 shots. And we did have some actors in wardrobe for those, you know, the action scenes where people are talking to each other. For big stuff, we were in there stealing shots with 3 cameras. And at some point, we got too close to everybody and it became a problem, and they shut the whole Battle of Bennington down. There was a general, I don't know the man, I don't know his name.
He was a little guy.
He was a little guy.
With attitude.
With a lot
Lots
of
of
attitude. I just remember he was a plumbing supply salesman in real life. And he wouldn't, and he either really had a British accent or he was faking it the whole time. But he said, "You need to get out of here." I can't do it. And he shut the battle down, and I was pissed, and I'd already paid money, and it was a lot of pressure. And I just said, after we settled with him, and I said, "We're going to do it again." You know, I got a contract, and we would do it again. He shut the battle down 3 or 4 times, I think.
Yep. Yeah, so the guy in the last week, we're shutting this down
Yes.
because of some rampant filming going on
Right,
over there.
rampant filming, and we were as rampant as we could possibly be. So it was a lot of cheating and a lot of faking, and but it was with the help of the Living History Association. It was very nice to us.
Well, it was just great that, you know, you thought about that rather than like, we need like 8,000 extras, all the costumes, all the stuff. Wait a minute. There's guys that do this every day.
Yeah, and if that hadn't worked, there would have been a different ending somehow, because there was no way to shoot that.
Yeah.
There was no way we could afford the hundreds of extras that we got in the end of that movie.
No.
Now, did Nick own the plane?
Yes,
But he couldn't afford a car.
he's an eccentric.
He's a quirky
which is
guy.
my answer for all the continuity errors in the movie. He's eccentric. He shouldn't have had a gun in the boat, and he loses it for absolutely no reason when he comes on shore, right? So
Yeah.
you're saying there's some of those, but we were willing to say, you know what? If it's a good line, it gets a laugh. We don't care. And that was, we called them funny line moments. Remember that, funny
Yep.
line moments?
Yes.
If somebody could come up with a laugh, we would shoot it. When we shot some that were really dumb, and I'm glad are not in the movie, but we would shoot those because we knew, especially when Bonnie Pritchard's character gets killed in the second act, the movie takes on its own kind of momentum, and we didn't want it to get too serious. So we were trying to figure out ways that we could leaven it with a little bit of humor.
Yeah. Did you base your character
on any like corporate person specifically, or is it just kind of a composite of villains in general? Because you do a really good and convincing performance as evil that's also incredibly banal and bottom line facing. And I mean that complimentarily. It's like, yes, we know the future's doomed, but this quarter we're gonna do gangbusters.
Well, a couple different things. No. And I'm a little scary looking. Okay, so
What time of day?
that isn't hard. But I have a 1.5-year-old granddaughter who is scared of me. So she was at the house one day with her mother, and she saw me and she started. And I happened to have a nut wrench in my hand. I said, "You want this?" Oh. So I was okay after that.
Come on out to the garage. Let's go.
So no, I didn't. I just listened to what he wanted and did what he wanted.
I had mentioned, this was the 80s, I had mentioned Ted Turner way back when, I think I remember. That Ted Turner was kind of, nobody remembers Ted Turner.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that guy, so.
Well, I don't usually wear a suit and a tie either.
I've never seen you in a suit.
You put on a suit and tie. It's like it's a guy you
That's
never
probably
know
what made
before.
him so uncomfortable.
I remember when you showed us a trailer that first time there, and we came down to your house, and I was just wearing regular clothes, and your mother was kind of shocked to see me. But I was in a tie.
Flannel shirt, jeans.
The only time
Yeah,
I've
she
seen you
came
in a
up-
suit and a tie is on set. I've never seen you otherwise, the premiere. Other than that, I've never seen you in a suit and a tie.
And you probably never will.
Well,
And you
know-
usually smell like
you know-
cows, George.
Well, I know
I'm sorry,
that,
be
but-
honest. Like we'd be shooting you in a suit and a tie, and be like, George, you need to do this scene. George, you need to do this scene. This scene.
So that's one of the perks, I guess.
It's a
It
tough
doesn't
job.
matter the media, bad guys always have more fun.
Well, that and you know, like you're all getting along on set, you're having lunch together. You're doing all this stuff. You absolutely like the guy. I'm not sucking up to you. Anyway, you just like the guy, and then he pulls this roll off. It's like, whew, I did not see that coming.
And it's also the quiet moments with you, George, and I think this is true. I saw this in Walter Hack's, your film. You have that Gary Cooper stare thing going, that little, right? That John Wayne, Gary Cooper, especially when you're squinting in the sun, really mad at Nick Miller. I think that you have that, you really do. You have that kind of movie star good looks, George. Just saying you're not a,
I've never been accused of that.
well, I'm accusing you.
But I really mean it. I learned a lot that summer watching
We all
him.
did.
Because I wasn't just concentrated on this. You watch the guy work with other guys, and you learn a lot by watching that stuff. And that's how I kind of learned stage directing. There's an old woman in Hyde Park who used to direct plays. I used to love sitting watching her direct people, even if I wasn't the one being directed at the time. Just sit and watch.
It's a gift.
It's you can learn a lot by just watching.
And that's true. If people who want, young kids who want to get into filmmaking, I say get on any movie set you can, get on any production you can, get on anything you can, because if you get on something, you will learn just by osmosis, just by being in it.
And I say be in community theater. It's the same
I
thing.
agree with that too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Totally true.
Because it's pretending, and that's what everything is.
So have you ever thought about doing it again?
Yeah, it's going to be called Nick of Time. So
we have thought about that.
Yes, we have. We joked about it.
We actually got serious about it in 2016, I think, for a little while.
yeah.
I think the truth of it is, as much as we all get along and we have a good time, it was a period in our lives where you couldn't recreate it. It's like, how would you make a sequel? What would the tone be? I don't know as the filmmaker who made the first one, because I couldn't recreate the innocence, the honesty, the naivete of that movie. I couldn't. Even if I was trying to be sarcastic, I don't think I could make that. So I don't know. We've worked together, all of us, on other projects, but we haven't come back to Time Chasers. Something about Time Chasers is special, and I certainly will sell the rights to anybody who wants to buy them for $100 million. I don't intend to.
Oh, get Spielberg up.
You know what I find personally really fascinating with Time Chasers? It's been over 30 years. Is how the movie goes out and meets the public, meets the world. And I said, we ship stuff overseas. I just shipped stuff to Ireland. I don't know how people know about it. And I just find it fascinating because Time Chasers, I've had to watch the movie so many times because it's been reissued. It's had 3 or 4 VHS releases. It's had 3 DVD releases, 1 Blu-ray release, and it's now coming out on YouTube with advertising. You know, and it just the movie. We just keep it has a life, and I find it fascinating. How people find the movie and if they, how it connects to them.
David is very good at keeping us
that's
apprised of
Yeah.
all of them. He sends a copy to the cast, and half the DVDs I own are time chasers.
Miller, you are a genius!
Time Chasers is finally coming to audiences in HD for the ultimate viewing experience.
Who needs to control the media when you can control history?
The sci-fi cult classic has been digitally restored for a new generation from the film's original theatrical elements, mastered under the supervision of the film's director, David Giancola. From the future of 2041 to the Revolutionary War of 1777, join Nick Miller and Lisa Henson once again in the non-stop adventure that has endured for decades. For the first time in over 25 years, you won't need a time machine to experience Time Chasers as it was meant to be seen. Order now, because time waits for no man.
I'm gonna make you a part of history.
Coming soon on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download.
It says best wishes or something like that on it with some kind of, to me it looks like an infinity sign and something that I can't make out.
Who signed? Was that someone's autograph?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
believe so.
George?
However, I have to tell you, I didn't get it back then. It was actually a gift to me. It was rented out at a video store in Brandon, Vermont. A friend of mine bought it, and knowing that I really liked Vermont-based movies, brought it for us to watch and gave it to me.
That's fantastic.
So,
No, you just didn't give it back.
Shoot, it's free.
I could give you her address in St. Albans if you wanted to.